Geneviève Bujold is a Canadian actress best known for her portrayal of Anne Boleyn in the 1969 film Anne of the Thousand Days, for which she won a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress and was nominated for an Academy Award. Life and career. Bujold was born in Montreal, Quebec, the daughter of Laurette and Joseph Firmin Bujold, a bus driver. She is of mostly French-Canadian descent, with more distant Irish ancestry. Bujold received a strict convent education for 12 years before entering the Montreal's Conservatory of Dramatic Art, where she was trained in the great classics of French theatre. She made her stage debut as Rosine in La Barbiere des Arts Copyrightville in 1962. She got her first major break in 1965, while on tour with the company of the Faux Centre du Rideau Vert in Paris, when French director Alain Resnais selected her for a role opposite Yves Montand in his film The War Is Over. She stayed in France to make two more films, Philippe de Broca's Le Roi de Coeur, opposite Alan Bates, and Louis Malle's Le Voleur, opposite Jean-Paul Belmondo. Upon her return to Canada, she married film director Paul Armand in 1967, and starred in 3 of his films, Isabelle, The Act of the Heart and Journey, winning the Canadian Film Award for Best Actress for the first 2. The couple divorced in 1973, but worked again together in Final Assignment and The Dance Goes On, the latter featuring their son, Matthew Armand. She also appeared in Michel Brailt's film Entre la mer et l'eau douce, and Claude Jutras' film Kamouraska, based on a novel by Anne Ha copyright Bert, for which she won her 3rd Canadian Film Award for Best Actress. Bujold appeared in a variety of roles for Canadian and U.S. television, notably for NBC's Hallmark Hall of Fame in George Bernard Shaw's classic St. Joan in 1967, which earned her an Emmy Award nomination, and Caesar and Cleopatra in 1976, opposite Sir Alec Guinness. She also appeared in Gina Nui's Antigone for PBS's Great Performances in 1974. International recognition came in 1969, when she starred as Anne Boleyn in Charles Jarrett's film Anne of the Thousand Days, opposite Richard Burton. For her performance, she won a Golden Globe Award as Best Actress in a Leading Role, and earned an Academy Award nomination in the same category. The following year, she played the role of the visionary Cassandra in Michael Soanis's film version of The Trojan Women, opposite Katharine Hepburn, Vanessa Redgrave, and Irene Poppers. Bujold was touted to become a star, but she walked away from her contract with Universal Studios. The resulting lawsuit was settled when she agreed to appear in the 1974 disaster film Earthquake, opposite Charlton Heston, and the 1976 adventure film Swashbuckler, opposite Robert Shaw. In the ensuing years, she appeared in Obsession, opposite Cliff Robertson. Another Man, Another Chance, opposite James Caan. Coma, opposite Michael Douglas. Monsignor, opposite Christopher Reeve. And Tightrope, opposite Clint Eastwood. She formed a professional friendship with director Alan Rudolph, and appeared in 3 of his films, Choose Me, Trouble in Mind, and The Moderns. She also appeared in David Cronenberg's psychological horror film Dead Ringers, opposite Jeremy Irons. After a long absence from Quay copyright Beck, she returned to appear in 2 films directed by Michel Brault. Les Niques de Papier and Mon Ami Max. A few years later she was back to Quebec once again to play the role of Madame Lassalle in La Turbulence des Fluids, directed by Mornan Bryant. In 1994 Bujold was chosen to play Captain Janeway, lead character in the ensemble cast of the American television series Star Trek, Voyager. However, she dropped out after filming just a few scenes of the first episode, citing the lengthy work schedule for a TV series and her unwillingness to do news interviews. The producers subsequently hired TV veteran Kate Mulgrew for the role. Bujold continues to work, primarily in small-budget films with independent production companies. Awards: 1967 a Prix Suzanne Blanchetti for Most Promising Young Actress in Le Voleur, 1968 a Canadian Film Award for Best Actress in Isabelle, 1969 a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in Anne of the Thousand Days, 1970 a Canadian Film Award for Best Actress in The Act of the Heart, 1973 a Canadian Film Award for Best Actress in Kamouraska, 1979 a Euro Genie Award for Best Supporting Actress in Murder by Decree, 1988 a Euro Los Angeles Film Critics Association Award for Best Supporting Actress in Dead Ringers and the Moderns, 1990 a Euro Prix Gar Copyright Ma for Best Actress in Lesnik is de Papier, Filmography, References. External links, Geneviève Bujold at the Internet Movie Database, the Canadian Film Encyclopedia.